Hey, STR Insights user. I'm so happy that you've subscribed. You're checking out the tool. I hope you've had fun using it. But man, can it be overwhelming. And frankly, if you want to become a power user and really know how to leverage that data, you've got to really learn how to use the tool and understand how to find the right markets. And not only that, but to ultimately find the right property. So I'm going to show you in this video. It's going to be a quick one. I'm just going to show you how to find the top markets based on your personal preferences. Now, before I dive into the tool and show you all the cool features, and I'm sure you've already seen, I want to talk a little bit about understanding how to find your top markets. So keep in mind, I've told people this before, I tell everybody this, vacation real estate investing is not just logical, it's also an emotional investment. Your emotions come into play when you think about vacation rental investing in terms of where you want to invest, the reasoning behind why you do it. You don't just do it for the numbers. You have some sort of other reasoning behind it. You might have preferences, emotional preferences or draws, and you have to understand those in order to find the right markets for you. I have a lot of users that come to me and say, hey, Kenny, this is great. I have all this data and all this access to the entire country, but I still don't know where to look. And the reason why is because they have not labeled or identified what their emotional preferences are. So what I want to do, I'm going to show you a slide from a presentation I gave. It's a little bit corny and I apologize, but it kind of drives the point. And if you do this first, and I'm going to give you an exact example of how to do this, it's going to help you find the right markets. So I'm just going to pop this up here. So the first thing is talking about calculating emotions. You need to calculate your emotions to identify where you want to invest. So the first thing you need to know is vacation rental state investors do not chase markets. So they don't go where everybody else is looking. So throw away all your preconceived notions of these top markets that you think you know already, and let's start fresh. The second thing is we need to understand what motivates us to invest in a particular vacation area. Is it because we want to avoid taxes, or we just want a good ROI, or is it because we want to travel there ourselves, or we want it to be driving distance? We need to identify those things. The last and most important thing is defining personal preferences, meaning that is a particular market, is it in an area where there are resources that you can access, so cleaners and maintenance folks and so on, or can it be a little more remote? Do you want a mountain destination or a beach location? Like, what are your personal preferences? You need to identify those and write those down. If you can do that, you're going to be able to identify the right market. So let's dive into the tool here and let's go through an example. So I'm just going to skip straight to the dashboard. So keep in mind, when we're looking at the data here, this is great to see the top markets, but who cares? They're not based on my emotional preferences. I don't care about investing in Michigan. No offense to those who want to invest in Michigan or Pennsylvania or Illinois. It just doesn't fit my criteria. And I need to identify that criteria in here, and STR Insights will then help me find the right markets. So if I'm interested, the example is I want to invest in the top mountain markets in the South. Okay, so that's still a little generic, but that'll work for this instance. So I'm going to select mountain destinations, and then I'm going to select the South. So all the states in the South here. And I'm just going to hit search, and there we go. So we have Roanoke, Virginia, Fayetteville, West Virginia, Luray. I mean, we have the whole entire South here and all these different markets. So what do I do? What do I look for? The first thing you want to do is you want to see, okay, so Roanoke, Virginia. Do I know about Roanoke? If I don't know about it, I need to do some research. I recommend going on TripAdvisor and learning all you can. So it looks like Roanoke is in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I can learn all about what's in the city and so on. But am I interested in investing in this area? Probably not. And I can go into the map view and see where Roanoke is by clicking that feature and saying, okay, what are the nearest cities? It looks kind of remote, to be honest, compared to some of the other mountain destinations. And so, am I comfortable with that? Yes or no? If I'm not, that's fine. Go down on the list and go until you find markets. So I've got Luray. Where is Luray? So Luray looks like it's in, obviously it's in Virginia, but it's near Shenandoah National Park, which happens to be right here. It's a little bit closer. You've got Washington and Baltimore about an hour and a half to 2 hours away. So that's a little bit better. But if I look at pictures of Luray, this is pretty cool, but it's more agricultural, rural, I guess, less mountainous, more hilly. So for me, I don't know. For you, it could be different. It's a great market. It's got great numbers, but it needs to fit that personal, that emotional draw. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to show you another thing. So we've got Candler, North Carolina. Where is that? Looks like it's near Asheville. If I scroll down and kind of cherry pick some of these other ones in North Carolina as well, Canton, where's Canton? Well, it looks like it's next to Candler. Okay, where is I don't know how to pronounce this one. Leicester, I'm assuming. It's northwest of Asheville as well. So you see where there's a trend here in the data, and these are just the top mountain markets in the South. Where is Weaverville? Weaverville is north of Asheville. So literally the outskirts of Asheville looks like a good market. And I can go and I can look at Candler. I can see all the things to do. And if you've ever been to Asheville, North Carolina, it's really pretty. The mountains are pretty there. There's lots of stuff to do. It is touristy. It's a great market, and it's not even just a great market, but a great region because you can see all of these different markets that are in that area are popping up as the top mountain markets. So right now, I've just identified the top markets based on my personal preferences. So I'm not interested in Roanoke. I'm not interested in Luray. I'm interested in Candler. I'm interested in potentially a Canton or even a Weaverville. I can look around at the other suburbs too of Asheville, but it's telling me not just the suburbs, but the surrounding areas, but it's telling me that I should target that region. And that fits my emotional draw as well if I'm looking for that mountain feel near a somewhat busy area where there's actual like residents nearby. That's a very specific example, but that's how it works. Now that I know that, I can then dive in deeper to find, based on those individual cities or markets, more information and where I should be targeting in that Asheville area. So I hope that helps you understand and identify the right markets for you and not just kind of look through all the data and get overwhelmed by how much you can see and access.